choose. I say there's a big elephant in front of me, but I don't.
Welcome everybody to the second public hearing of the Baltimore County Council Structure Work Group. Since mid-October, this group has met 9 times. Their central task has been to look at the Baltimore County Council's structure, size, and determine if any changes are warranted. The staff, myself, and Brad Kroner presented numerous research packets and different information on peer jurisdictions in Maryland and around the country on the fiscal impacts of possible expansion. And to be honest, this group has delved deeply into all of those details. I'm very proud to present you with the Vice Chair, Ms. Vicki Allman, who will introduce the group.
Thank you. Thank you, Adam. Good evening, everybody. I am Vicki Allman. I was a councilwoman for 8 years and retired now and doing volunteer work in Reisterstown, where I've lived for 40 years. I'd like to introduce the members of this fabulous group. I must say that when I came on the group, I came in with a certain mindset. And because of all of the research and discussion and statistics and on and on and on, I have my mindset, my mind became more open and my mindset is a bit different now. It's been quite an amazing experience. I'd like to introduce Eric Rockel. Eric is the 3rd Council District Rep, and Mr. Rockel is a resident of Lutherville, retired from Baltimore County Real Estate and Maryland State Highways, volunteers much of his time to NeighborSpace, the Greater Timonium Community Council, and works for the betterment of Baltimore County, as he always has. John Coster, 5th Council District Representative. John served as a member of the House of Delegates. He was a police officer and served the Parkville Business and Professional Association. He's a member of the Loch Raven Rec Council and the Parkville Rec Council. Al Harris, 6th Council District Rep. Mr. Harris is a former educator, Vietnam War vet, and long-standing active community and civic volunteer. He's currently a member of the Holland Hill Community Improvement Association, the Police Community Relations Council liaison. Ed Kramer. Ed is representing the 7th District. He's a resident of the Hawthorne community in Middle River and a member of the Hawthorne Civic Association. Ed works with the Essex Middle River Civic Council and is a member of the Middle River Roundtable. Keith Dorsey is the county executive representative. He was the director of the Office of Budget and Finance for 12 years, but has served Baltimore County for over 35 years in various capacities. And then we have Jeff Mayhew, a demographics expert. Always wondered what that was. Now I know from being on this committee. So we always have a chance to learn, right? Mr. Mayhew served Baltimore County on the planning board, and he has spent 31 years serving the residents of Baltimore County. Emily is the planning board representative. She is a commercial real estate developer and manager with over 15 years of commercial asset management and experience. So I'd like to welcome everybody here tonight, and just to say that it's been an absolute pleasure being a part of this group, and I have learned quite a bit. I'd also like to take the opportunity to thank Adam Phillips, County Council designee, Brad Kroner from the County Executive's Office, and the fabulous Christina Del Castro, County Council Administrator. Yes, I'm a little biased. So I want to thank you all for coming this evening. I would like to give you a little report our preliminary recommendations in the structure work group draft report. And I want to make sure that you know it is a draft report, that we will be listening to testimony tonight and making our final decisions in another 2 weeks when we do our report. But so far in our preliminary recommendations, the recommendation has been to expand the Baltimore County Council to 9 members, all elected by district, starting with the 2026 election. Place the council expansion charter amendment question on the 2024 ballot for approval by Baltimore County voters. Increase compensation for council members to be commensurate with full-time professionals. Increase the county council's staff budget. Link county council size to county population as reported by the decennial census. If the county population falls below 700,000, the council would revert to 7 members. If the county population rises above 900,000, the council would increase to 11 members. Future population-based changes to the council would occur through the course of the decennial redistricting cycle and start with the next regular councilmatic election following the census. I would like to stress that this is a preliminary report. We wanted you to be able to see it so you can speak tonight to that report and any questions or concerns that you might have. So thank you very much. Yes, Mr. Robert.
I'd like to thank you all for coming out. As a work group, we really appreciate the opinions you're going to express with us tonight because it will help us make a better and more decision. We recognize your time is valuable, and for that reason alone, we appreciate your time spent with us tonight.
We're ready.
So we're going to take speakers in the order in which you signed up. We have kind of a blend of people who signed up online and those who came and registered to speak in person. So I believe it's. So the first 3 in this order will be Veronica Dunlap, Sean McIntosh, and Peter Richards. We'll have 3 minutes to speak. We've got a timer to set up. If it'll be the chair's discretion if she wants to allow you to go more or less than that. But please do try and be respectful of your fellow speakers.
Are we facing a camera or
Uh,
a process to just stand up in our seat?
Yes, that's a great question. I think based on the size of the room, it's sufficient just to stand and speak. Would that work?
That works.
You can even sit if you want.
Well, if,
Is this being live streamed?
yeah, the camera's in the back. It might be helpful for everyone if you did stand though, just so that we knew who was who. So our first speaker.
Veronica Dunlap.
My name is Veronica Dunlap. I am the Deputy Executive Director of the ACLU Maryland and resident of Baltimore County. Consistent with the mandate of the committee, the focus of the ACLU is on highlighting the potential that expansion of the council holds to afford Baltimore County's large and growing BIPOC population fair election opportunities and representation in county government. The sad fact is that a council of 6 white men and 1 black man is not representative of Baltimore County's rich diversity. The county executive and council recognize this very issue in proposing the reasons for this committee to study council expansion. Yet the committee's draft report focuses far too little on the goal of promoting diversity, scarcely even mentioning it. Expansion of the council to 11 members can increase opportunities for BIPOC voters and women to elect their chosen representatives. This is not just my subjective view. Objective evidence, which the committee has said it is relying upon, supports the conclusion that council expansion to 11 will promote fair representation. Two Maryland counties that this committee has looked to as appropriate comparators currently have 11-member council councils, Montgomery County and Prince George's County. Notably, in both counties, the elected council members are substantially more diverse than the Baltimore County Council, which we attribute, at least in part, to the larger council size with smaller districts. To provide the committee with evidence concerning the expansion to 11 council members, the ACLU engaged a demographer, nationally recognized voting rights expert William S. Cooper, to create a sample 11-district map for Baltimore County using 2020 census data. The sample map demonstrates clearly that expansion of the council from 7 to 11 members would enhance election opportunities significantly for BIPOC voters. This would increase real election opportunities from 14% currently to 45.5% for BIPOC voters, thus creating opportunities far more comparable to the current 47% BIPOC share of the county's overall population than does a 7-district system or even a 9-district system. The ACLU urges this committee to waste no time in pushing ahead with a strong recommendation to expand the council to 11 representatives elected from 11 single-member districts. For Baltimore County BIPOC residents, the lack of fair representation presents an urgent problem requiring prompt reform. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Sean McIntosh.
Good evening, I'm Sean McIntosh. I live in Sparks, Maryland, in District 3. Members of the County Council Structure Work Group, I thank you for giving your time and energy over the last months to study the current council structure and county demographics to determine whether changes are needed to better represent Baltimore. While I applaud your effort to find a reasonable compromise that would be more consistent with best practices in other areas, I am deeply dismayed that some members of the work group vocally resisted giving weight to written and verbal testimony from voters in their decision-making process. I almost did not come tonight because it seems almost pointless. Democratic process has been thwarted if this is just a perfunctory meeting and the call for testimony was simply to appease advocates. As I watched one of the work group meetings, I heard members say that it was not fair to take testimony into account because certain groups were better organized than others. Really? You are not supposed to listen to voters because they have organized around an issue? Organizing is at the heart of democracy. I am stunned that a work group that was appointed by elected officials would think it is their responsibility to ignore voters and only use their select opinions to form their decision. Public input was solicited on a publicly available website. If you did not receive very many responses that asked you not to expand the council, then maybe there are not that many people opposed to expansion. If the majority of those voters who testified asked for 11 districts, then maybe they represent the majority of those who care about this issue. I am testifying in support of expanding the council because I grew up in Baltimore County and I believe that the council should be growing and changing to reflect the demographics of those who live here. We are no longer in the 1950s and our council should be. Every Baltimore County citizen has a right to voice their opinion on this issue. I read about the meeting on the website. Any Baltimore County citizen could have read about the work group and sent in testimony or come to a hearing. I read the draft report and I appreciate the effort to produce a compromise. I really do. However, it is a hollow compromise if the majority of input was for 11 seats and the work group decided that it had to be 9. When both 9 and 11 seats were on the table, more work group members voted for 11 than 9. The data is clear. The council needs to be expanded. Your report says as much. Why not let the voters decide by how many? Give the voters a choice of 9 or 11 districts. Let them choose which makes more sense. If you do not think the thousands of people who have already signed the Vote for More petition count, then let all of Baltimore County decide. Voters' voices should matter when it comes to their representation. Thank you.
Witness. Good evening, Witness.
And thank you for the willingness. I hope, despite my being an activist,
positive outcome of your efforts, in addition to the progress you've made, is that you've helped residents of Baltimore County. Since the 7 council districts were created in 1956, the county's population has almost doubled to 850, while the number of districts remains the same. It's a fact that Baltimore County has the region's worst ratio of county council members to constituents. In other words, a voter living in Baltimore County has less of a voice in county government than anyone living in Baltimore City, Carroll, Hartford, and Rundle and Howard counties. The number of Baltimore County residents per district is 30% more than the next. It's good to see that you're not recommending at-large districts and that you have come to see that expanding the council is the right direction. My input, however, remains the same, that the council be expanded to 11 districts. And the input from more than 7,700 residents who signed the Vote for More petition is the same, to add 4 additional districts. It's not just the council members that would be the addition. It is the 60+ members of boards and commissions that council representatives are able to appoint to further expand the opportunity for involvement from all residents. Work group's bottom line recommendation to the council should be, I hope that it will be, leave it up to the people. Put increasing the council to 11 members on the ballot to truly get the people's recommendation.
Thank you. Chuck Brockfelder. Good evening.
Good evening, how are you? I'm Chuck Brockfelder. I didn't really come preparing a speech, but I'm in favor of 4 more. And I feel that it should be taken and put on the ballot, that the people should vote on it. Either to raise it to 9 or raise it to 11. I'm very dissatisfied with what I heard in the meeting last Thursday night, that the chair failed to bring to the committee all the emails that people wrote in and said, because we said, well, you all read them, but you never discussed them in the meeting. So I was very upset about that point because you didn't discuss if they were for or against. So that's one of the points I wanted to bring up tonight. I was very upset about the emails that were sent in that fell on deaf ears, that were not brought to the committee.
Thank you. Linda Dorsey Walker. Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Linda Dorsey Walker, and I'll turn to the camera. I'm chairperson of Vote for More. You have my testimony. As part of your testimony, of my testimony in digital form, you will see that there's a video that's attached. I'm encouraging all of you to look at that video. Perhaps then you'll get some idea of what led nearly 8,000 people, just under that number, to sign the Vote for More petition at churches, at fairs and festivals, at trunk or treats, at all manner of events. People have come up to us and said, we want a seat at the table because there are currently no women at that table. There's no one under 35 at that table. There's no one disabled at that table. There's no one LGBTQ at that table. There's only one African American at that table. And oh, by the way, people in every new American group in Baltimore County have said, where is our seat at the table? Because we're not willing to wait 68 years, which is how long it's been since the last time the county started with this. A blank sheet of paper. Can you imagine the courage that they showed in 1955 and 56 when they started with a blank sheet of paper and said, even though we're 200 years old, let's redraw the lines, and they came up with 7 districts. I asked for that kind of courage to be shown now. you will see at the end of the testimony that I sent, a proposed referendum question language. In 1956, Baltimore County established its current seven-county district council. Baltimore County has changed demographically and grown in size since 1956 from a population of 350,000 to 855,000 today. How should Baltimore County respond to the change? Baltimore County Council should increase by choose one answer. Just like you would choose one candidate when you have three running. Do you want to expand by two more districts, four more districts, or six more districts? Because I understand one person proposed 6 districts. Let the people choose. But if you don't do that, we are going to continue doing what we've been doing, collecting names in the community. We've established ourselves as an entity with the state board of elections. We want to and have to finish this process. But know this, along the way, we discovered something that maybe you didn't know. A bunch of disabled people and seniors came up to us and said, that form that's required for you to put this form that on the ballot, I can't use. I don't have use of my hands. I don't have legs. I don't have my eyes to sign it. Change the law and include us. And I ask for your full attention to what I've said and the opportunity. I thank you for the opportunity to speak with you, and please consider the question.
Thank you.
So I believe that is the end of the speakers who have signed up. I know we've got a lot of people in the audience who are here just for observation. I guess this is an opportunity if any of the work group members want to say anything.
First of all, does anyone else in the audience have any remarks they'd like to give? Yes, Mr. Patoka.
Hello, everybody. I'm Izzy Patoka. I'm chairman of the Baltimore County Council. I want to thank everybody for participating in the process. And, this has been was the lead sponsor in forming this work group. And I've been monitoring it. I've been tuning into almost every meeting. I've participated in person at some of them. And I think the work group needs to be commended for an outstanding job. They've really dug in. I think, I won't say councilwoman, but
You can say that.
you know, she has said how the things that were discussed by the group, the things that were provided in testimony, both verbally, writing, and email, have weighed in her decision in how she feels. I don't know exactly how you feel, but I think that's what the work group is all about. So I think the work group has done a good job. I think the advocates for different perspectives have done a great job. And this is really what democracy is about, to discuss this, to come up with a solution. And either way this turns out, we're going to be moving the needle in the right direction. I also want to just, before I stop talking, just give a shout out to Adam, Chris, and Brad for also doing a great job as deputies. But thanks to everyone for participating in one way or another in the process.
Thank you. Thank you. Any of the members? Yes, Mr. Dorsey.
Yeah, I just thought maybe we could share with the audience the names of some of the work group members who are listed on chair.
Sure. Yes. Since we have 2 public meetings, White Marsh and Woodlawn next week, members were asked to choose which meetings they wanted to go to, or if they wanted to come to both, that was fine as well. So I'll tell you who the other members are. Laura Bacon is the 1st Council District Representative. Sheila Lewis, 2nd District Council Representative. Dr. Tony Campbell is the chair of this work group. And that's it. That's it. So they will be present at the Woodlawn meeting along with several of the members who are sitting here tonight. Anyone else have any comments?
I just want to say something.
Yes. Hi.
I just began what I just moved plus be that chairs to be basically not.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, we do appreciate everyone coming out and taking their time this evening to do that. I know it's not always easy. But thank you for your comments, for your concerns. And I would like to say that as far as emails go, we did receive every email that came into the county council. And we were able to read them, study them, look at them. So we were privy to all the emails that everyone sent in. Yes.
Just want to add one thing, just for clarification, because someone was stated a while ago when we had a different public meeting. Wilmore has included signatures from every single jurisdiction in Baltimore County. And it has included signatures from people from every party, Democrats, Republicans, Independents, and so forth. Every category of people. We've been in this area at least 6 times at different events. And Northern, Reisterstown, Glendon, Dundalk, Arbutus, everywhere that you name. So Wilmore represents a panoply of decision-making to move forward, including some sitting judges.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, yes.
Yes, I just have one comment. I did share in my oral testimony that we had engaged someone to create a sample map. I do have that.
Any other discussion? Anyone else have any comments? Okay, well, that ends the meeting this evening, and we'd like to thank you once again for coming out and taking your time. We know it's not always easy. Thank you.